again, we need to figure out what the conjugate of our denominator is. And in this case, we have 2 minus the square root of 11, so the conjugate will be 2 plus the square root of 11. And that's what we're going to multiply top and bottom by. Oops, let me fix that. 2 plus the square root of 11 and 2 plus the square root of 11. And as I mentioned before, we're not going to use the box this time. We're going to use the pattern. So we will take, let's use that color. We will take this number and we will square it. And that's going to give us a 4. And then we will take this one and we will square it as well. And that will give us 11. And then it will always be subtraction. That's the bottom of my fraction. Now let's take a look at the top of the fraction. For the top of the fraction, I'm going to need to distribute. So I'm going to get 14 times 2 is 28. And that's plus 14 times the square root of 11. Now we can simplify this a little bit farther. If we do the subtraction on the bottom of the fraction, well, we're going to get negative 7. And on the top here we have 28 plus 14 over the square root of 11. That can be further simplified. Now, first of all, let's take that negative and let's move it out front. And then this 28, isn't that 4 times 7? And 14, isn't that 2 times 7? I'm not going to worry about breaking it all the way down to primes. Instead, I'm going to say that this 7 cancels that 7 in this term, and that 7, well, let's try it this way, and that 7 in this term when I distribute it. So now my fraction is negative, and I have, oh, I don't have a fraction anymore because it's just a 1 left on the bottom. So I don't need a fraction bar. So I'm going to take out my fraction bar. And I now have negative. Gee, what's left on the top? I have this 4. And then I have plus, and what's left on the top? The 2 and the square root of 11. So plus 2 times the square root of 11. And there we are in fully simplified form. Don't forget the negative. Oh, wait a second. That is not fully simplified. We have one more thing to do. Because it's the whole thing that's negative, right? So we need to distribute our negative to each term. And when we do, that's going to equal negative 4 minus 2 times the square root of 11. And that is fully simplified.